Olga Panarina and Simona Kupuskaita. Panarina is one up, just a little more gas in the tank for her during the first run. And the Germans having their expert commentary, added expert commentary from Miriam Welter next to us.
Yep, and they've got their next guest lining up, who's sat next to me at the moment, Jens Fiedler, and all 6'7" of him is sat next to me at the moment, taking up about 3 chairs.
The track itself here, as we say, a little bit flexible, especially in bend 3. It sort of gives, especially for the very powerful sprinters. You might notice they bob up and down a lot. Energy sapping.
World champion 500 meters time trial from the Belarus, Olga Panarina.
Really up for this now. Kupuskaita leads off with Panarina. Just behind, one up already is Panarina. Very cagey, looking over her shoulder. She's worried where Panarina is. I'm not surprised. She's in very, very good form. Olga Panarina swings down the banking, takes up the position in front, pushes Kupuskaita up towards the top. This is a little bit more cagey than the first run. It was a lot more cagey than the first run, actually. Completely different tactics from Panarina here.
Yeah, they're being very, very cagey here indeed. The first one was run off quite quickly. Panarina here just slowing it up as much as she can. Right down the bottom of the track, still looking over her left shoulder. I'm not sure why she's looking over her left shoulder. She's not going to come that side of you. Kupuskaita just riding her close, riding her close. Only, what, bike length and a half, maybe 2 bike lengths at the most, and sitting close on her, sitting close on her. Down the back straight, lap and a half to go. Still staying close on her, dips underneath. She's going to push her up now, push her up, push her up, push her up, so she can't get any pace. And hold her up, she can't hold her up.
Just couldn't do it, just couldn't do it. That was just acceleration at Kupuskaita. Maybe she thinks she can get back to that, but it's a very, very big ask, because Panarina is on flying form, and Kupuskaita's not going to get... Oh! Well,
commentator's curse.
I'm very surprised.
I think she got there, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Much more power. Lots of support here for Vicky. There's lots of British people come over for this last weekend.
Away goes Anna Mears, with Victoria Pendleton following her this time around. It was reversed, of course, in the first run-off in this semi-final. And Pendleton was, I've got to say, outgunned. It's probably the best way of describing it in the first run. She didn't have the power to respond to Anna Mears. Speaking to Shane Sutton earlier this morning, we were talking about Pendleton coming back to her very, very best. Mears is really in the middle of a purple patch at the moment now. It's looking good for the Olympic Games in 2012 as Victoria Pendleton begins to move back up to the very best she could possibly be. Still some work to do, though. And Sutton was saying it's all about mental strength for Victoria Pendleton, something that Anna Mears has in absolute spadefuls.
Absolutely, and Vicky laying off her here. 3, 4, maybe even 5 lengths off of the back now, and Anna just moving up the track to push her up. Vicky trying to get speed. Anna drops down immediately because she wants to tempt Vicky into coming down. Both the coaches tell him to go up. Anna gets to drive into turn 1 and 2.
Victoria's going to have to try and get onto that rear wheel. She does so. Oh, great acceleration by Victoria Pendleton. She got enough to come around the outside. Are we going to see a situation like the last one? Oh, yes, yes, yes! Well done, Victoria Pendleton. Timed that one perfectly. You are watching Olga Panarina. It's run-off time, decider time here in the women's semi-finals of the sprint. Olga Panarina won the first heat, the first run, should I say, up against Simona Kupuskaita. Kupuskaita taking the second. There she is.
500 meters.
Yeah, they race a lot on the World Cup circuit. They race a lot on other competition. We must say, they don't just race World Cups, these riders, do they, Tony? There's all sorts of other races through the year.
Yeah, lots of sprint Grand Prix and invitations, and there's sprint competitions at 6-day races in the winter as well. So it's like a travelling circus, and they will know each other very well. Probably spend a lot of time together on trains, planes and automobiles travelling to races, because getting anywhere from Russia or anywhere around it is quite difficult. Here we go, lap to go.
Oh, underneath goes Kupaskaita, wants to dictate the pace. Just a little tiny flick, making sure Panarina has to stay in the middle of the track. Now rides her up towards the top. He's impeding the momentum of Olga Panarina. Kupaskaita's got about a bike and a half length. That's good for Kupaskaita. Panarina's got to get the horsepower out now. And easily in the end, Simona Kupaskaita rode away. Tactically, a really good round.
Yeah, very well ridden indeed, and the director keeps focusing on the fans there, but
on the Lithuanian contingent.
Yeah.
There's the ability for her to just yes, you're in the final, okay. The ability to sort of ride under pressure.
Criticise her, she's the golden girl of British cycling. We're not. This is her own admission, and people within British cycling, and Steve Peters, the psychologist, has had to do a lot of work with her.
Mears is as hard as nails. She will, but she's a lovely woman, but she will play as a competitor on your every fear, and that's exactly what she's done with Vicky Pendleton.
Yeah, Vicky not even going to try and get her back in front of her. She's going to go the other way and just pick the pace up, try and neutralise out Anna Mears' jump, but Mears staying very close to her. She's got the measure of this track, and this is going to be really hard for Vicky now. As long as Anna Mears doesn't give her too much room, she can just run her really close. Oh, here we go, going to pin her.
Oh, come on, Victoria Pendleton just needs to keep it together. The moment Mears has still got a pin to the top, then a little tiny flick. She's still trying to intimidate her. Oh, Pendleton gets onto the wheel. That's very good. She's managed to hang in there. Victoria Pendleton opens up. Will she get around the outside? Mears has really got the motor going. Oh, she's coming at her. Oh, half a wheel. And Anna Mears takes that. Well, you've got to say that was tactically really well raced by Anna Mears.
Actually bounced her off of the barrier at the top of the track, and